Um, 2 weeks ago, we did a pre-release party. We had a big French artist called Damso. We did 1,500 kids in a room, like him talking about his new album, and they got to listen to the album 2 days before it was publicly released. What I love about what's happened, and I think thanks to streaming platforms, is that what used to be considered local genres are now global genres. The Latin Grammys is really a global Grammy thing now. To stand out in a market like this, you have to have a brand. You have to have a brand, and you have to have, in our case, experiences that make you unique or different from the competition. So when we work on marketing, we have to work almost equally weighted the entire funnel. It isn't just about sending you a promotion and getting leads and getting you to download the app. We have to work on driving a brand that drives an emotional connection with our users, which, by the way, should be the case in almost every category on the planet. I was supposed to have a glass of milk to in between this hot sauces, like to cool the palate.
Hello, Martians. Welcome back to another episode of Marketing on Mars. Today, I'm super excited for this guest. Our team has been very excited internally as well. She is a senior leader, CMO at a company called Deezer, which is one of the world's largest independent music experiences platform in the world. They connect fans with artists and create ways for people to live music. And I'm a huge music lover, so we're really excited to have Maria on the show. And she's worked at huge companies like Hallmark Cards, 3M, Colgate, and the list goes on and on. Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so you are actually so you're currently based in Paris, is that correct?
Yes, that's where our global headquarters is, in Paris. Yep.
And so this show, we've told you the theme of the show. We're doing shots of hot sauce, and every single time I'm going to ask a lot of questions about marketing and what you're testing out currently. I'm going to have no filters with my questions, but every single time you cannot answer a question, we take another shot of hot sauce. What do you have for us today? What kind of weapon have you chosen?
So normally I understand I'm supposed to receive sauces from you, but with the whole customs and trade situation, I had to go out and buy the in Paris. So what I have here it's very international selection. Okay. So I brought Cholula Chipotle with 2 peppers, and that's my softest one. It's right here. I lived in Mexico for 5 years, so I think I can, drum up.
Is your background, are you Spanish background or?
Spain.
Spanish. Okay. So it's slightly different.
In Spain. It's very fun. The second one I have has 3 chili peppers, also from Cholula. Okay. The original hot sauce. And then the last one I have is shirashi, which is for me the spiciest one of the 3 because I think it's the one my palate is not accustomed to. So I have put all of those in shot glasses because why not?
I got one too.
And good, you too.
Yeah, this is from Playa del Carmen in Mexico. So
cool.
I'm excited to use that one. So you're gonna start with the lightest one. My lightest one is from we would have sent you this without all the issues with trade and everything, but this is from our one of our sponsors, Seed Ranch and Flavor Co. Love them. So let's start off with a shot hot sauce and then.
Oh, before we even answer a question, you already got me okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Well, that way we get the palate prepared.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
That's good.
Now, Maria, do you usually like spicy food or?
I do like spicy food. I'm not a fan of eating everything spicy, but I have no problem with spicy food.
Okay, cool. Yeah, same. Yeah. So Deezer, our team was really excited, not only because of your background, but Deezer is actually one of the largest music streaming platforms out there. And you personally, you've been working there now for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, that's right. 2.5 years. Yep.
Okay, so maybe tell us about how is Deezer doing, and give us a little backstory, maybe things that we might not know about Deezer as well.
Sure. So the company was started 18 years ago, I believe. In fact, it was founded the same year as our biggest competitor, which I'm sure you know, called Spotify, and also founded by a guy named Danielle among the co-founders. So it's kind of funny. We've got two Daniels basically breaking the model of music consumption in the world.
Daniels.
It's founded 18 years ago. It's present in over 180 countries today. France and Brazil are our biggest markets. We are a streaming platform, but we like to call ourselves a music experiences platform, and we'll get into why that is in just a little bit. And the company went public in 2022, so it's not publicly traded in Europe. What else can I tell you? We have all sorts of fun things happening in marketing. We run events, we run comms and PR, we run all the editorial team that works on the product with playlists and suggestions on what people should be listening to, collecting, etc. Works in marketing, and the artist relations team works in marketing. We have a performance and digital acquisition team, a brand team, an execution team, an internal creative studio as well, which is super important for us because they are the guardians of the brand identity, if you will. And we're about 25% of the company today, the marketing department.
Oh, wow. So marketing is huge for you guys. And within that, yeah, you mentioned events, so I'm sure we're going to dive into a lot of that. But before that, I promised the team that we're going to dive in and learn a little bit more about you first, before we dive into Deezer. So our team, you're a mom, so you're juggling. I think you describe yourself as a hyperactive queenager.
Yes.
Is what you like to
Good
describe
research,
yourself.
good research.
Yeah, so you're juggling motherhood with career. Obviously, you worked at huge Fortune 500 companies, large multinational companies. You've also had entrepreneurial ventures as well. How do you maintain, and I feel your energy as well, how do you maintain being organized, being professional, while still having energy and focus with amongst all your diverse roles?
I don't always. I'm being really honest, Simon. I don't always. It's so I have 3 kids. They're a little bit older now, 17, 20, and 24, and I'm on my own. So I've been a single mother for quite some time. It isn't easy. I sleep really well at night. That's the best thing I can say. I'm super productive. I think sometimes, when you have a busy schedule, you tend to be better at making sure you use that time efficiently. So in that sense, I guess I'm pretty organized. And I do sports. Now that the weather is really bright outside, by 5:30 in the morning, it's easy to get up and do things because the sun is out. And I eat super healthy, but I like it. I don't do it by forcing myself, but I like eating vegetables. I like eating fish. I don't drink or smoke. And I think that keeps me sprightly and active at 52 years old.
Wow, you're 52. Okay, that was something that my team did not tell me. You look incredible for what.
Thank you. But you know what? This is the 52 now. I don't like when people go, "Oh, you look 35." No, this is what a queenager is today. So many people are living longer lives.
Love that.
So we all have these chapters of our lives that we can stay active and fulfill.
Yeah, that's incredible. You mentioned one thing that you, having 3 kids and single mom. By the way, that is awesome. Like, huge props to you. I was raised by a single mom, but she raised 2 kids, and you have 3 kids, so that's like incredible. But you mentioned one thing that it kind of forced you to be more productive because you have such limited time. And I've heard this from a lot of my friends that have kids. They find themselves more productive after they have kids. Was that your experience? Did you become a more productive Maria after you had kids, or what kind of changes did having kids affect your personal life?
That's a good question. If I'm honest, I think the arrival of the first kid, especially if you're a young, ambitious career woman, was a bit of an identity crisis for me, because I'm like, wait a minute, like, I've been defining myself by what I do for a living, and now I have this baby, and what does this mean in my whole existential identity crisis? So the first one was a bit hard to get used to, and then I got into a rhythm. And for some time, you go a little bit on autopilot because otherwise you don't survive.
Yeah.
And now, if I'm really, really honest with you guys, My youngest is going off to university next year, and I'm going, wow, it's me time now. I get to do things for
Yeah.
myself now and not always revolving around their schedules and their activities. So I'm actually really excited. It's a little bit hard to get used to nobody being in the house anymore, but I'm really excited about the next chapter.
Wow, that's crazy, and so many things I want to ask you, but I know we're mindful of time. So you've gone from working in corporate, you've also tried your own entrepreneurial venture, uh,
Yes.
which I think we looked at some kind of it was a wellness, Taranum, wellness
Yes, I
was
Terranum Wellness. I own an 18th century manor in Spain that is a boutique hotel that specializes in luxury wellness retreats.
incredible, and that's based in Spain, right?
That's right. That Spain is
In Spain.
home for me, so that's where
Spain is
it's based.
home.
And that
Very,
business is more a collective hug for people of the world that are feeling tired and burnt out. But it also helps me. Now when I go, I'm actually a client more than I am the founder. I go through
mm.
the whole wellness experience because it really helps to give me a bit of permission to pause in life.
And what was that like? How did that come about? Because you've had a lot of kind of corporate roles. Do you bring a lot of? Do you kind of merge it together, or is that how it like came about?
It came about because as a single mom with 3 kids and a corporate job where I was literally doing day trips to New York to be home for dinner the next day with my kids, it was a bit crazy. And I needed to learn how to sort of block out in my schedule and schedule time for self-care. So I
Yeah.
started doing wellness retreats all over the world. Every time I was on a business trip, if I was in Singapore, I'd tack on something in Indonesia for the weekend, in
Mm.
Mexico, in France, wherever. And I started sort of collecting things in my head, thinking, when I retire someday, I think I'm going to build a business around this idea and sort of
Uh,
cherry pick and curate all the things that I did like about the ones that I had gone to. And then the opportunity came up to do it right after COVID. So I decided to launch the business then. It's been open for 3 years now. I have a team on site in Spain. I do the boring
yeah.
part of it. My vision is now executed and I pay the bills pretty much.
Mm.
But I'm super happy with that on the side. And as I said, Simon, when I go there, it's more to be a retreater now myself more than it is to run around and manage things.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. And so you've actually spent a lot of time. You mentioned Spain is home for you. You're currently in Paris, but you started your career and everything like back at Hallmark Cards in the US.
Yeah, so I
You're
grew
pretty
up in
worldwide.
Chicago. Yeah, I grew up in Chicago. My parents are from Spain, and I started my career in the US. I studied international relations in college, and then one summer, a very nice person at my school who was a mentor to me said, I think you should try the business world. And if you're doing international relations and foreign policy, it's like the dark side. Who wants to go to the capitalist part of the business sector? But I did try an internship at Hallmark and I was in the international department and I thought this is the same. It felt like it had all the vibes of being a diplomat that appealed to me, but on the business side. So went off to graduate school, got an MBA, and then I
Ah.
started my career in New York. Spent almost 2 years in New York, and then I got shipped to Mexico City for 5 years, and that was
Ooh.
amazing, absolutely amazing. And then I got sent to France and went to several other companies. I worked after Colgate. I worked at Mondelez with Kraft.
Craft, yeah.
And I don't know what happened. It's now been 23 years and I've been in Paris ever since.
Wow. Wait, so you've been in Paris for 23 years now?
Yeah, I'm the Emily in Paris 20 years down the road.
Yeah. I was just watching Emily in Paris like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, this sounds like a movie a show that I've seen before. Um,
Because I worked in advertising. I'm from Chicago and I
yeah,
spent 8 years working in advertising in Paris. Although I have to say that I met Darren Star, the producer, and I told him like two
really.
things. One, I've never seen Paris look as beautiful as you make it look. So bravo on that one.
Mm.
And two, I'm like, I'm actually Emily in Paris 20 years down the road. Like I said, in my life, no client has ever bought me lingerie. So, like on this show. So that was quite funny.
Okay, for those who didn't get that joke, you gotta watch Emily in Paris. It actually is Maria's life remade. That's
That's
that's that's
exactly.
the truth. Yeah. Um okay, cool. So we're gonna thanks for sharing all of that, and I'm sure we'll get back into your personal life later on. But we're gonna dive into Deezer and learn a little bit more about the marketing you guys do and maybe the events, because I'm very bullish on community and events, and I'm
Yes.
sure you are as well. But before that, we're gonna do Noe's favorite segment, one of her favorite segments on the show. It's called This or That. She's gonna try to
Okay.
force us to take hot sauce shots.
I
So
see.
I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna give you two options, and you just gotta choose one of the options. We'll,
Okay.
we'll go
All
through five
right.
questions. All right.
Okay.
Okay. The
Right.
first question is, always have glitter in your hair or always have confetti in your shoes?
Oh, always have glitter in my hair.
That was a fast answer. Good.
Yeah.
Be a famous musician for a day or a famous actor for a day?
Oh, I'm in a theater troupe. Definitely actor. Definitely actor.
Actor. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
I have so many. I have so many. I don't. I know. I
Like a
can't. I can't
recent?
answer that question. Do I
No.
have to
Okay.
drink?
Okay. So
Do I have to drink? I
no,
can't
no,
answer
no,
that
no. That's
question.
that's okay. There might be a harder question in a second.
Okay.
Have a pet kangaroo or a pet panda?
Oh boy. Um, let's go with panda.
Oh, nice. It's cute, fluffy. Sing karaoke with Billie Eilish or dance on stage with Lizzo?
Oh, those are both good. Let's go. Well, have you been to Lizzo's concert? She doesn't dance much on stage. So I've been to her concert. I'm gonna say dance with Lizzo and her backup crew.
Yeah, because she doesn't dance much. All eyes are gonna be
But
on you, right? You know what
well,
I'm
no,
saying?
because her backup crew does dance. So I'll get into
So you get
I'll
it
get into
within.
the backup dancers. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Final question. Uh, who was the most annoying celebrity that you've ever had to work with?
Oh, I can answer that. He wasn't annoying, but I met him. I went to the premiere of the Motown Records documentary in LA. I was invited by Capitol Records, and there were a lot of amazing people there, like legends. Stevie Wonder was there.
Oh my God.
Smokey Robinson was the best pores and skin I've ever seen in my life. But the person who I met at that I thought was really mean was James Corden.
Oh, wow. Wow.
There you go.
All right. I think we're drinking for that one. Uh, but wow, that's incredible. Um, James Corden, eh?
Yeah, he wasn't very nice. And I thought maybe because I'm just like a fan, but when I got back to the office in Paris and I told people that everybody knows that it's just a character he plays on TV. I was like, okay, maybe I was just ignorant.
I can feel that. Well, cheers to that.
Yours.
Cheers to James Corden. Oh my God.
Are you okay? Is it going through your nostrils?
Yeah, that's spicy. So oh, this is our favorite. This is my favorite, but I poured too much. I don't
Oh
know.
boy, you're just a little bit ambitious on the shot.
I didn't know the volume to take because I usually use a spoon.
Oh,
But I wanted to
I'm
follow. I
gonna send
wanted
you
to
mine.
follow you. Yeah. Wow, that's spicy. That is
Okay.
spicy. Wait, hold on. I thought French food is not really that spicy.
French food isn't spicy.
Not right. Okay.
No.
So where do you get
No.
most of your spicy food then? Then when you eat spicy?
I like Indian food. I like Indian food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mexico, 5 years in Mexico, it really helped. Everything was covered in chile. So
Yeah.
that really helped prepare my palate 20 years
Yeah.
down the road to have this podcast with you.
Wow. But do you travel a lot now? Because you mentioned that you traveled a lot back then, but do you still travel a
Yes.
lot?
Not so much anymore. I've had some really cool stuff with Deezer this year. We sponsored Lady Gaga's concert at Copacabana Beach
Oh my
a
God.
month ago, and I was there front and center with 2.1 million people and our team and the 200 friends that
What?
we brought to the event and influencers. It was like mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing.
What? Do you guys do a lot of like music festivals?
So, yeah.
Tomorrowland
So
or
in
anything like
fact,
that?
yes. Yes. So next week we're kicking off our festival season in France.
Yeah.
So this year we're sponsoring 11 festivals in France, and we start next week in the south of France. We cover the whole country. We do a lot of sponsorships in Brazil as well. Those are our two biggest markets. And it's still fit for purpose. Like there's a lot of sponsors there, but being a music company, we do our favorite thing to do is karaoke's at concerts and at festivals because
Oh,
we sponsor a stadium here in Paris that has a lot of big events.
yep.
And there is nothing more magical than being in a room and watching 40,000 people sing in unison. It's amazing.
Have you been on stage to do karaoke before?
No, I've been on stage for my theater group, but not to do karaoke.
If you were on your next music festival, let's say your team just threw you on stage, what song would you sing?
Well, I have a bit of a Broadway stream in me, so I would
I feel
probably
that.
sing, I would probably sing something from Broadway. Like I really like, that horrible, the theme is kind of crazy, but there's a song in the musical of Chicago where all the women are in jail because they killed their partners.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
They had it coming. That one I would do. I played
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Hannigan in Annie, and she has a song about hating little girls, which is so not who I am, but I loved singing that song on stage in the musical, so I would do that one too.
Okay, nice. Fun fact, when I was in CDXM, Mexico City, I lived there with my fiance for 2 months, and I went to a place. We love karaoke because she's Korean and I'm Chinese, so we love our karaoke. Went to a karaoke bar, and we usually expect private rooms. We sing, privately, just her and I. We're not like, we don't like to sing in public and stuff. We went to this one karaoke bar, and there was a mic, and we went up to the mic, and um and you had to sing in front of 50 people, and we've never
So
done
you
that
had an
before.
audience.
We had a full-on audience, so I did the only song choice that I could possibly the only realistic song choice I could have chosen. I did "Lose Yourself" by Eminem in front
Oh,
of 50 something
and you know
people.
what? You know all the words?
Yeah, I know. I knew all the words growing up, but everyone was like, "Who is this Asian guy
Who
rapping
can rap?
Eminem on stage?" Like, no one would have ever expected that. So people were going crazy, and then my partner, she went up and she sang some Korean songs. She asked everyone, "Is it okay to sing a Korean song?" And everyone's like, "Yeah," because they love Korean music as well. But
Yeah,
anyways, I digress.
that's super
Um,
cool.
yeah. Anyways, over to marketing, which is no ways like
Yes.
looking at me. It's like, okay, we got to talk about marketing now. Um, so you guys do a lot of different things right now. Maybe walk through your marketing, what you guys do for marketing, and what your biggest goal is this year.
Okay. So I have to go a little bit back in history. So when DSPs were launched, when the two Daniels launched Spotify and Deezer
Daniels.
18 years ago, the two Daniels, I call them, they were very much focused on giving access to everyone in the world to music and the full catalog of music that's out there. And I don't know if they knew that what they were creating was a bit of a commoditized perception of a digital streaming platform. If we just stop for like 2 seconds and think about the fact that like 20 years ago, you would pay
Mm,
$14.99 to buy an album of one artist. And today, for that price or less, you have access to over 100 million tracks on your phone. Like
yeah,
the economic model is just broken.
it is
So
wild.
they accidentally created a perception from people that a digital streaming platform is a commodity and they're more or less all the same. So to stand out in a market like this, you have to have a brand. You have to have a brand and
Hmm.
you have to have, in our case, experiences that make you unique or different from the competition.
Yep.
So when we work on marketing, we have to work almost equally weighted the entire funnel. It isn't just about sending you a promotion and getting leads and getting you to download the app and try for free for 3 months and then paying your subscription. But we have to work on driving a brand that drives an emotional connection with our users, which, by the
Totally.
way, should be the case in almost every category on the planet. And then once we get them in the product, making sure that they're engaged, that we have different kinds of listeners. People that are older have a tendency to be more passive listeners on digital streaming platforms. And then younger people make their musical memory archive between the ages of 16 and 24. So they're hungry for discovery, hungry for you to give them new playlists, new artists, what's up and coming in music and culture, because they're just like feeding the musical memory for the rest of their lives. So you have to stay culturally relevant. It isn't just about new releases, making sure we keep our audiences engaged on social media with like relevant content around music, but we also have to be relevant in culture overall. So as we go through the funnel, you've got all the branding stuff at the beginning, like who is the brand? What does the brand stand for to drive awareness and consideration? And then we get people through digital acquisition to download the app and either try for free or subscribe. Then in the product, I have to keep them engaged with relevant content. And then on social media, we need to drive word of mouth so that the whole thing cycles back.
That is, I love everything that you just said. Because engagement is, everyone has a brand. Even if you're not creating a strong brand, everyone has some kind of brand, and you want to be a brand that stands out amongst all your other competitors, right?
Yeah.
Social is very important. Do you find it very, very hard, like increasingly hard every single year to be relevant on social, or you find it getting easier with all the new AI stuff that's coming up?
Okay,
When you
so
think about
on
social
social,
engagement,
yeah, well, social, it's, God, I think the average, Brazil has the highest consumption of social media in the world. I can't remember the numbers anymore, but it's like hours and hours. I think it's 8 hours a day spent on social media
oh my,
platform,
yeah, I
which is
wouldn't
insane.
be
But
surprised. Yeah,
there's so much. I think we live in a world of content overload. Absolutely. And I don't mean just for the younger generation. If you think about the number of times you get pinged in a day between WhatsApp, SMSs, Slacks, emails, like it's just
crazy.
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So to stand out on social media, we are in the world of digital streaming. So making sure that we are perceived as knowing music and being at the forefront of tastemakers. Being a tastemaker is really important. When we look at our social media channels, the formats are not the same according to the container. If you're doing YouTube versus TikTok versus Instagram, we have to adapt all of our formats to those audiences. And we have to focus on reinforcing that we are legitimate in the space of music streaming. So being artist-centric and being music-centric is important. And what we've discovered, and I know you're going to like this because we're going to talk about events, is that being what we call reactive content, i.e., if there's a meme happening with cats on TikTok, we better surf that wave. Not necessarily relevant to Billie Eilish's new album,
Nope.
but we need to stay culturally relevant within that context. And
100%.
then the fourth one, we do a little bit of brand stuff too, but the fourth one that we know drives the highest engagement on social media is when you show the experiences that fans are getting thanks to Deezer. And that's where events come into play.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm talking to the queen of events here. And I will have so many questions because I've been huge in community since 2017. I worked in crypto for 3 years, and crypto was all about community. And now I'm in the startup world right now, and so there's a lot of events there. But the events in the entertainment industry, because the entertainment industry is all about events and networking and like who you know, and so the best in the world do it really well. So I'm excited to nerd out with you on all of that. Like when you think about engagement, there's obviously digital and then there's in person.
Yes.
Do you lean towards one? Like one is more important than the other, or you got to do both, and you have to do it both very well?
When I first got here, we had to sort of establish what the purpose of the company was, and that fed and informed the positioning of the brand. So when I got here 2.5 years ago, we locked ourselves, a small set of my team locked ourselves in a room, and we didn't come out for a few days. And we said, okay, what is the purpose of Deezer? And we came to the conclusion based on what we knew about our audience, the history of the company, and where our product and tech team wanted to take the actual app, that we wanted to move from being a digital streaming platform to a music experiences platform. So from
Yeah.
an DSP to an ESP, if you will.
Mm.
And the idea was that Deezer was the company that helps people be and belong through music. The B is about expressing yourself. I mean, we all know, like, when you got something amazing going on, you listen to certain music. When you're really sad, music helps you process emotions. So expressing yourself through music was important.
Oh,
But I'm going to
totally.
focus on the belong, because the belong is about being part of something else, being part of, like, connecting with other fans, connecting with your friends, connecting with your favorite artists. And
Hmm.
that's where we know that experiences happen not just in the product with things like Music Quiz, which we have
Mm.
inside the party. You can invite your friends to play with you and see who knows Beyonce better. You can do Shaker, which is like share my playlist or my favorites with my friend on Spotify or Apple Music. And it's like a matching game. See how much we have in common. At one point, I was really embarrassed because I had 80% of my favorites in common with our CEO, and I wasn't sure that was something I should be proud of. And we do a lot of experiences in the product. Now we have the club, and the club is all of those experiences that we're doing outside of the app in real life. So we're
Mm.
bringing one of our fan events that we call it Purple Door. Purple Door is a private event that only Deezer subscribers can attend or compete and sign up to join. And I'll give you an example. Billie Eilish was in town last year. We had only 50 kids in the room. They got to sit down with her and talk about her new album and ask her all sorts of questions.
What?
2 weeks ago, we did a pre-release party for a big, big. I don't know if you know this, but France is like the third largest hip hop music market in the world. So we were
That I did
very big.
not know. I
Yeah,
did
after the
not know
UK
that.
and the US. We had a big French artist called Damso. We did 1,500 kids in a room, like him talking about his new album, and they got to listen to the album 2 days before it was publicly released. These sort of exclusive access to your favorite artists is one of the biggest things that people want, and especially the younger generation, because when you look at the
Yep.
budget that people have for entertainment, and that includes, like, theater, movies, music, whatever, the biggest chunk of money that's being spent on entertainment is in the 18 to 34-year-old crowd. And
Mm-hmm.
inside of that envelope, they spend the most amount of it on music. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just an obvious space where you can really bring an added benefit and a unique proposition to your audience if you give them exclusive access to their favorite artists in a way they can't in an 80,000 person stadium with everybody's phone staring at the stage.
How do you get invited to these private
So you have to
events?
be a premium subscriber, a paid subscriber of Deezer, and we have a tab in the app that has
Huh.
every day all of the contests. They're free. You don't have to pay. They're every day. There's all the contests, and you can sign up for the contest. The biggest streamers of those artists will get access, and then everyone else, it's a lottery. So that's how
Biggest
we do it.
streamer, meaning they listen to the most minutes of this
Yeah,
artist.
the biggest fans get first access to those events.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna switch our entire team off of all of our other music streaming platforms, and we're gonna get on Deezer after
Yeah,
this,
Deezer.
just so we can get access to our because our team loves you should if you didn't get a chance, no way, and we have another team member, Sophie. They know every single line to every single song that plays
Okay.
through their phone. Like they're huge music people, and obviously I got a chance to meet them in person as well in Latin America, and yeah, Latin Americans love their music.
Yes, they do.
They
And
love their
local
music.
genres are really important in Latin America, Simon. There's certain countries where I think in Brazil, it's 60 or 70% of the music people stream are local genres. Like they have a local version of country, like what you would call American country music, sertanejo, that's really popular. Gospel is the second market for gospel in the world. They have a
What?
lot of local genres. Mexico has its genres as well. But what I love about what's happened, and I think thanks to streaming platforms, is that Netflix did this in the world of, like, films and series, but what used to be considered local genres are now global genres. The Latin Grammys is really a global Grammy thing now. Like everybody
Wow.
listens to reggaeton. It's not just for Latin America anymore.
I love reggaeton. Yeah, it's good. It's good music. Very good music. Um, so we know it's large. You guys are across 180 or whatever countries and
Markets.
markets, second largest streaming platform. What are you guys doing for revenue right now?
Well, we sell paid subscriptions and we do ad sales on our free subscribers.
Well,
And we do one more thing
I
we
mean,
do.
like, what's the like? How much revenue are we talking about?
Last year we closed out at 542 million euros in revenue, and we have partnerships too, Simon, which
Wow.
might make us a little bit different from our competitors. We do a lot of distribution partnerships and tech solutions partnerships with big telco companies and e-commerce companies around the world.
Wow, you just shocked. No way. She thought that you weren't going to answer the revenue question, and you did. Wow, so you guys are large.
I'll drink still if you want me to, but
Oh my God. I mean, I'm definitely gonna drink for that. I'm doing this one. This one is we should have sent you this one. This one is ghost pepper. So I'm leveling up.
Right, that's
I'm
scary.
leveling
I
up.
don't know if I want that one.
But let's
Luckily,
see.
we have really good national health insurance in France, so you can send
Yeah.
it to me next month.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna pour this in.
I have to watch your face for this. This will be good.
It's like super thick as well.
It's really thick.
What the heck? Okay, there you go. Almost nothing came out, but
So, Simon, I was told by Jesper on my team that I was supposed to have a glass of milk to in between this hot sauces, like to cool the palate.
yeah, I think milk is really good.
Any other
I
tips?
don't eat too spicy.
Well, right now you're kind of blowing that out of the water, aren't you? That's the whole point here.
Yeah. Yeah, milk is good, but to be honest, it's just time. If it's really spicy, I've had some really spicy stuff. No matter what you do, water, milk, it's just gonna be there, and you just gotta live through it.
You just gotta you gotta get through the pain.
You gotta get through the pain. And at one point, when it gets too spicy, you kind of feel like a euphoric high. Like you kind of feel high. Yeah.
Some people I've seen some people actually start to physically sweat
Yes.
when they're eating spicy food. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe next time for the next music festival, hot sauce
We'll do that.
You know, that would be an experience. Talk about experience. Hot, spicy things is just something that it's like an experience that a lot of people don't experience that euphoric high from the spiciness. So you can give that experience to them. People will always remember.
Yes. For the maybe it's painful, but they'll remember.
They'll always remember. Okay, so let's dive into marketing. To events, specifically events. How many events are you guys doing per year right now?
So we do over 100 right now per year, but the ones that we are either sponsors of or that we're running on our own, we're about 75 of those 100 events.
75 of those 100 events
are basically ones that we invest in. They're either ours, like the Purple Door example I gave you is one of ours. We do front row XPs too. Like a front row XP is when an artist is rehearsing for a show. We get a small select group of fans to be able to attend the rehearsal. We did Lenny Kravitz last year, and that was I went to that one. That was super fun. And there was a guy there who had literally been to every concert Lenny Kravitz had done in France since he was 15 years old. He was 51, brought his guitar, drove I don't know how many hours to get to the event in Paris, and told Lenny and us, I'm 51, but today I feel 15. It was so just lovely.
That's adorable. Wow. So for 30 something years, he's been
a super fan.
That's incredible. Do you go to all of the shows that you guys?
No.
No?
I can't. I did this week. We had two almost simultaneously. One was in the south of France, which was another Purple Door with a French artist. And then we did Armin van Buuren, who's a really well-known DJ, on the rooftop of the Pompidou Center in Paris. I went to that one. That was on Monday in Paris.
Armin is one of my favorite artists. And
actually,
and Above and Beyond is coming to to Canada as well, and I'm my friends are getting tickets. I'm so tempted to get tickets to Above and Beyond. And I have a ton of friends that are going to Tomorrowland in Belgium.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. Very good festival. You should have been
Yeah.
with us on Monday. There was 300 of us on the rooftop of the Pompidou Center in Paris with him.
Next time you let me know, I will fly with a suitcase of hot sauce and just be passing off hot sauce.
Good
Just like,
time.
you get hot sauce, you get hot sauce. Um, but no, yeah, Paris sounds like I mean, obviously you love Paris, 23 years there. Super creative city, right? Yeah,
I
Paris
think it's
is.
a city. I think it's a city that knows um how to articulate creativity. The
Mm,
biggest trends in the world don't necessarily start here, but because of the history of luxury and attention to detail that this country and this culture has, they know how to apply that creativity and articulate it beautifully.
yeah, no, and yeah. And when you think about events, everyone has a different everyone's really good at different parts. What do you think is your superpower with events and connecting with people? Because you've done it so well, not just at Deezer, but at other companies. Like, you're really, like, I feel like you seem like someone that has a very strong network and just knows how to build great experiences in events. Are there like two or three things that you think about when you're hosting something that you like, these has to happen, and that makes your events and your experiences so much better than anyone else's?
Yeah, well, I think I'm a bit of an old-fashioned marketer because I know at one point, if you think about the Mad Men era, it was all about the art and the creativity. And then
Yeah.
Silicon Valley took over the world and it all became about an Excel spreadsheet and digital acquisition.
Data. Yeah.
And I'm the person who thinks you need both. You need both. You need the emotional connection
Mm.
and you need the rationale. So when we build events, what we're trying to do for the fan and for the artist is connect them in an emotional way and be sort of the catalyst of that connection between them that drives an emotional connection with our brand. But at the same time, I have to deliver on a business, right? So when we do events, we're tracking everything from the number of people who participate in the contest on our app to
Mm.
the number of people who are there, how it amplifies on social media. There are word of mouth engagement numbers behind it. What happens afterwards? How much do people who attend or participated in the contest stream that artist inside of our product? Because I need to see an impact and where that particular event is impacting our funnel. And just, in fact, right before this call, that big event we did last week with Damso, which is a big French artist,
Right.
the kids were not allowed. It was all young people, like honestly, between 16 and 24. For the first time, we did an event where people's phones were sealed off. They were not allowed to stand there with their phones because it was 2 days before the release of the album. So there's some confidentiality questions around that. And I was there. I was really curious to see how it was going to play out. And my team this morning started sort of leaking to me some of the data. And it was probably one of the best word of mouth social media activations we've had all year. And yet nobody's phone was staring at the stage when the artist was talking about his new album or listening to his new songs. That's like a whole nother level of power. I don't even know how to explain that. Like we created massive social media buzz from the fans themselves, and they were not able to sit there and film content during the 2 hours they were in that room with their favorite artist. That is like the holy grail. If I can keep doing that, then I've done my job here.
Are you constantly thinking about new experiences that no one else has done? Or are you just like drawing inspiration from all your travels and all the events that you go to? Do you draw a lot of inspiration and be like, hey, that was a very cool idea, but it was in a different market, and then you just steal all the ideas? Or are you constantly trying to come up with brand new things that no one has ever seen?
So
How do you think
we
about
started
experiences?
this adventure at the beginning of last year. And we were very much in a test and learn mode. Like, okay, let's just try a bunch of cool stuff and see where it impacts our funnel. Okay. And see if it starts to drive better perception of the brand. Do we get people
Yeah.
interested in us? And, are people subscribing? Are they participating? On and on. And now today, I think we're at the point where we have a lot of proofs of concepts. So about 70% of the events we're doing, it's just they're even brands unto themselves. Like Purple Door is now a brand within the Deezer ecosystem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 70% of what we're doing is like proven events. And now there's like 30% is the space where we play. And I have a really exciting one coming up. I cannot say anything about it, with a big, huge global artist. But like we have a really fun one coming up that we're going to try as a new event. So the 30% is the space to play, because otherwise, if we're trying new things all the time, to be honest, Simon, it's very disorganized for our team to manage if everything is brand spanking new every time we go around the block.
Totally. Yeah. So yeah, only 30% is brand new.
Yeah,
and
I'd say that's
70%.
my goal. Like, we give ourselves 30% space to play, and the 70% of what we're doing are proven models that we know function and have an impact on the overall business.
How do you track? You seem very data driven. Like, you know your numbers like that. It's so cool. And I find that the most successful leaders and the most successful marketers are very, very data driven. Do you have like an Excel sheet that tracks all of these things, or like, are you a Silicon Valley person, or do you use like tools
no, I
or
told
whatever?
you gotta have both. You have to leave room for the magic. Honestly, you have to leave room for the magic. So, yes. So we have an Excel spreadsheet with the KPIs of the entire marketing department, and every single person on our team knows exactly which ones they impact, and then we trickle it down to every single person. So yes, we also have them at a company level, obviously, because there's a lot of other things that are happening in the product and tech team and in the revenue team and in the data team that don't necessarily apply to us, but it's important to know what everyone else's objectives are.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we do that. When people on my team come in with projects, I don't want to hear, we want to work with Rosalia because she's cool. Great. There's a lot of cool things out there. She's cool, especially because she's Spanish. But that's not what, like, I need an insight. Like, what's the pain point of one of our fans or a potential future subscriber of Deezer you're trying to solve for with that event or that marketing initiative? How are you going to execute it? And then what are we going to measure for delivery? I've sat on the jury at Cannes Lions, which just finished today, in the south of France, multiple times. I've been president of the entertainment jury, and it's always important that you leave room for both things, right? You can have really beautiful creative that makes you cry, that makes you happy, but if it doesn't deliver on the business, if people don't remember the brand that did it, it kind of defeats the purpose of making it part of your business. So with my team, I always try to get that balance right. Make sure that we're driving against an insight from a customer or a potential customer, have a really cool creative idea to execute, and then how do we measure its impact?
Yeah. Hot sauce. This might be a hot sauce question. I think we're due for hot sauce. Okay. But I remember you mentioned Lady Gaga recently. First of all, how do you get Lady Gaga? And second, how much does it cost to get Lady Gaga? If I wanted Lady Gaga on my show, how much would I have to pay her?
Okay. I don't think I actually can tell you that. So it wasn't her, it was her show. Okay. In Rio, it was her. Yeah. It's actually the city of Rio that has a 4-year program. The mayor has a 4-year program. Last year was Madonna. This year, there's a lot of discussions about what next year is going to be, and we were one of the sponsors of the show. Okay. I don't think I can tell you how much we sponsored and how much we paid to bring in 200 fans and influencers. So crazy. I'm going to have to drink on that one.
Okay. And
I'm leveling up, Simon. I'm going to the next spicy one because this one I already have. I feel it anymore. Here we go.
All right. I'm going to go back to the taco because the taco is, I love, first of all, I love tacos. I just love Mexican food, but, okay. That was spicy?
Yeah, I should have put some French mustard because that should have been the one I did today. But just a big pile of French mustard.
Yeah?
It's super. It clears your nostrils immediately.
Yeah. Oh, that's spicy. Yeah, that's spicy. Oh. Yeah, that is.
You okay? Am I going to have to take over, Simon?
Wow. Yes, please tell me how much Lady Gaga cost. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, no comment.
but that's crazy that I mean Lady Gaga obviously huge star, global star, and for a big brand like Deezer, you guys have to work with big stars to continue to amplify the brand, right? Um, but sometimes you got to take a rising star and take a rising star
Yes.
and grow with it.
Yes.
When you decide to choose a rising star versus a star that has been there, done that, has all the because you got to be able. It's hard to measure sometimes, right? Or do you use data as well to
Yeah. So, okay, that's
determine?
a great question. That's a great question. Okay. If you're a music streaming platform, your legitimacy as a music streaming platform, it doesn't matter whether you're us, Apple, Spotify, is that you have to show your audience that you know music. And music isn't just, I can give you access to Beyonce. Okay. By the way, Beyonce's schedule, I'm sure, is insane. And you probably have to start working on that 2 years in advance to get access to Beyonce. But she's here, by the way, today. She's doing a big, she's on her tour, and
Oh,
tonight
really?
starts her show with 80,000 people in the stadium in Paris.
Are you gonna be there?
Not today. No, I'm
Not
not going
today.
to be there today.
Not today.
So it's really important that you work the whole spectrum, and your audience, people who stream on your platform, aren't all 18 years old. So we have a
No.
lot of playlists, and we cover one of the most listened to playlists on our on our app is meditation piano.
Wow.
Like music that's like background music for people to just relax or study or work. Those tends to be really high listening and streaming of those kinds of things. So we have to touch multiple genres, especially markets like Brazil and France, where the local music is really important to the audience. And we have a program at Deezer. When we do events like this, like Purple Doors, we either use like top, what they call AAA artists, but we also dip sometimes and pull out up and coming artists. We have a program at Deezer called Deezer Next. I think Spotify's is called Radar. And this program is about us spotting like what's up and coming in music and the young stars that are going to make it down the road. You know,
Mm.
for our audiences, it's a great chance for them to say, like, I was in the room where it happened. Like, I knew before anyone else knew that this kid or this singer
Mm.
or this young woman was going to become the next big thing globally or in your local market. So we do that program every year, and we showcase those artists in the product. We do live events with them as well. And then we do small bits of content on our social media platform to introduce you to those up and coming artists. And we work with the labels to do that. We work with the majors and the independent labels to help them showcase and highlight their up and coming artists to our fans.
That's incredible. And you must know, but you've worked with big names like Lady Gaga and all these other big names. I feel like you spend a lot of time connecting with people. What is your schedule like? Like how many
Um,
dinners are you going to per week?
oh
Like how
God.
many events are you going to per week? Do you have you must know this data because you're a data
It's getting
focused person.
worse, Simon, because now that we're gonna now that we've ramped up our event. Last year we were in test and learn mode with events, but now it's like a permanent pillar and part of our strategy.
Yeah.
So this week I have two. Tomorrow there's a big French music week. At the 21st of June in France, it's like Fête de la Musique, they call it. It's music festival. So all over France, every bar, every corner, you've got bands playing. But the French government this year has decided to put together a French music week. So this whole week there have been pretty high profile
Mm.
conferences around music and tech, music and rights. And tomorrow is the summit of the summit because there are 250 VIPs going to see the president of France at the Elysee Palace. I will be there with my boss
Wow.
to do the a summit around, and some of the biggest people in the music industry will be here tomorrow for this event. And my boss
Wow.
is actually speaking on all of the things that we're doing around AI. We're doing a lot of work around fraud detection. AI is seeping into so much music
Oh,
right now. At this point,
so
I mean,
much.
so much music. And our whole thing is about transparency. Like, we want our fans and our listeners to know when they're listening to a piece of music, if it's, if there's a bit of AI generated in it, we want them to be aware of that.
So I'm part of I advise a few VC backed companies and I'm good friends with a few VC funds, and it's crazy. I know off the top of my head without looking through a list or anything. there's at least 4 companies I know that is working on fraud detection in different
Yes.
verticals. I know a company doing fraud detection actually came on the show. It's a Series B company. Fraud detection for streaming, music streaming. I should probably connect. I can connect you guys. And I know someone who's used to work in Hollywood using fraud detection for deep fake videos and deep fake people using Mel Gibson's face or Tom Hanks' face, you know, and etc. But there's a ton of like fraud detection AIs that are being built right now. I think that's a hot space, and especially in your
Yeah. We
area.
have a whole team at Deezer that's what they do. We have about 7. I think they've gotten to about 7 or 8% of the music. It's like 100,000 new tracks are loaded onto our platform every day, and about 7 to 8% of them are fraud. And that
Wow.
dilutes the remuneration of artists and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
songwriters and shareholders. So we have to. It's a very serious business to get rid of that stuff and get it off our platform. And the other thing we got to pay attention to is AI. So if you look at just the evolution from January to now, in January we were about 8,000 of those 100,000 had some form of AI in them. Today we're at 20,000.
Holy
20%
smokes.
of the songs that are being loaded, the tracks are being loaded onto the platform
Yeah.
every day have
Yeah.
some form of AI in it. So we want to be a virtuous player in this industry. Like we want to make sure we protect the rights of artists and producers and composers and make sure that they're being remunerated and that their remuneration isn't being diluted by all of the fraud and all of the AI generated music that's being just dumped onto platforms today.
Yeah. And then fake listens as well, because
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. All
artists
the
get
frauds.
paid, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's pretty crazy. How much are you guys spending per month on marketing?
Are you making me go to the tire sauce now, direct? I can't tell you that. You know I can't tell you that. So here we
Oh
go. I'm going with
no.
this is gonna be hard because this is Thai. And the
Is
Thai sauce is gonna be
That's the Thai
strawberry.
sauce? Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Seoul Nash Seoul. This is
Okay.
gochujang with some cayenne peppers. It's not I don't think it's
Ooh,
gonna be
okay.
too spicy, but it might
All right,
be
here I go.
delicious.
I'm glad I got the milk next to me. It does help, by the way.
All right. Cheers.
Oh, it's a different kind of spice. Oh, it's totally different from the Mexican. The Mexican feels more familiar to me. Woofdom. That one's on the tip of the tongue.
Yeah. Okay, this is very unrelated, but I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday. He's in his 40s, so he's between mine and your age.
Okay.
And he loves music of all sorts, but I always find that we always like music that we grew up with.
Of course.
Something about that period of time, which is what you were saying earlier, the young people are trying to find their way in music. What about you? Are you also like that? Like, do you find that you like music that you grew up with more than current? Because you're in the weeds of music, so you get to see all the new stuff as well. What is your
Yeah,
opinion on music?
I think you're right. What I said before that most people are creating their musical archive between 16 to 24. It's as if like you need it as a compass to get through your teenage years to your adult life, right? And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, a lot of older audiences will go to streaming platforms and just like find all their music that they knew from their youth and put it in a playlist and then not step out of that comfort zone. But fortunately for me, I work in a music streaming company, so I have, I get exposed a lot more than maybe my friends do. I'm a very big fan of pop music, and I am a very big fan of female artists.
Oh,
So I listen to a lot of female artists, and my favorite artist of pop music of all time is Pink, because she's like
oh,
angry, and I love that woman. Like she has helped
her
me through the most
voice.
rage moments of my life.
Oh, really? Yeah, and her
Yeah.
voice is incredible. It's so
Yeah.
powerful. It's
And
such a
in concert,
powerful.
she's a gymnast, so when she performed here in France, we sponsor the big stadium, so we had a booth, and she does these acrobatics, like she's attached to these wires, and she sings as she's spinning upside down, like literally in the entire stadium. So people who are 100 rows back will get, like, she's 2 meters above their head. It's really crazy stuff.
Oh
Very
my God.
acrobatic.
Another artist, not female though, Benson Boone.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh
his
God, he so
performances.
reminds me of the 70s.
Yeah, he's like what's that guy? Freddie Mercury. He's like Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury, right?
Mm.
But
Yeah,
but
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 you know what?
reborn.
Last time, my issue with this guy is his look and feel. Like, I was there in the 70s. I have no desire to relive that again. It's different for my kids, but for me, I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want bell bottoms. I had those when I was 9. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's,
I'm not sure about his outfit choice sometimes as well, but he does have presence, stage presence. Wow,
yes,
like talk about
yes.
stage presence. That guy's
Yeah.
got it. All right, I know. Noah's looking at me because we're closely running up on time. I think we're gonna end off this segment we added recently. Our previous guest that we interviewed, he she prepared a question for you, and so I'm gonna ask that, and then you're gonna prepare a question for the next guest on the show.
Okay.
Um, all right. So the question
About
came
anything,
from
or is it about business? You're freaking me out here. What's that?
yeah, no.
Is
Yeah, I think you're gonna be fine. This is from Susan Bloomfield. Um, yes, is this correct? Susan Bloomfield. Yeah, so she works for a commercial real estate company based in LA. So you spent some
uh-huh.
time in LA. They have 3,000 team members there, so quite large company. And she asked you, um, marketing is always is something that always has to be quantified, but the job
Yes.
never really ends. You're continuously changing the goalposts and changing KPIs and stuff constantly. How do you deal with the constant challenge of proving your value every single day? How do you constantly fight the battle in the marketing
That is such a good
ring?
question. And especially in the tech world. A year ago, I did an interview. I think it was it Ad Age? I don't remember who we did it with, Jesper. It was about the constant tension in the tech world for CMOs,
Yep.
versus the CFO and the CEO, because we all find ourselves that the art part of what we do is not very easily understood by the product engineers, and the people who built these companies on technology. I mean, the founders of all of these companies were engineers. So the art part of what we do is difficult for
Yeah.
people to tangibly understand. Um, I think it takes a lot of belief in what you're doing, and a lot of resilience, and trying to frame the story in words that make sense, and language and spreadsheets that make sense to the people that you're working with.
Mhm.
When I first got to Deezer and we rebranded everything, there were a lot of naysayers in the building. A lot of people who had
Mm.
personal convictions that what we were doing was wrong. And
Mm.
it wasn't easy. And I had to focus on what was most important was actually not my opinion or this person's opinion or that person's opinion. What was important was our user,
The
our
users.
customer's opinion.
Yep.
And making sure that I focus everything we do around user centricity makes it a little bit easier to swallow the pill.
So it's like, you spent X number of dollars and the ROI on that was only 0.5, but you're like, but the user numbers and everything. So you always guided everything back to users.
Yeah, and the ROI isn't one KPI. Like the joke I make is the day we rebranded, like we do a huge, massive rebranding of the entire company in November of 23. And the day after I rebranded, I had people in this company ask me how many new subscribers we had. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how marketing works.
Yeah.
And then just to be funny, I would go like, okay, so you went on that first date with that person. I don't understand. Why are you married already? Just jokingly to get them to understand the absurdity of the question. When you rebrand and reposition a brand, people don't switch to you overnight. Like it takes
Thank you for
time to
saying
build
that.
those relationships.
Yeah. I'm glad you use a dating analogy. I use dating analogy all the time in business. there's a lot of overlap, and
Well, you have to arbitrate. You have
Yeah.
the challenge of a marketer is to how do I drive short-term results while still investing in the mid to long-term growth? You have to
For
do
sure.
both at the same time, and it's a constant daily arbitration.
Yeah. And I find is one of the only roles, well, aside from, I guess, sales also has a lot of like marketing and sales, especially. Like, I don't know. Do you guys do a lot of like, how large is the sales team at
Oh, we have a partnership. We have a
Deezer?
partnerships team. So yeah, they have like
Partnerships,
just like you're saying, there's pipeline, and some of it is delivers.
pipelines?
It's
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah, a little less art, I guess. If in the sales team, I find sales is like very data driven. How many MQLs and then SQLs and the conversion rates. And so you're right. We've kind of really moved away from the Mad Men days, and we're so data driven. But marketing touches a lot of the art side, and that art versus science is sometimes misunderstood by a lot of
yeah,
people
yeah, yeah,
outside of
yeah.
marketing. Um, Okay, don't know who the next CMO is going to be, but what question would you like to ask the next big shot CMO?
Oh boy. Okay, let me think about this. Um, I would ask the next CMO, how how AI tools are changing the way they do their job.
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you have a quick answer to that?
Well, I know how it's affecting the way we work. It's not right now. It's not a replacement of people on my team. It enhances their productivity, especially on the design studio, which is a really controversial space to be using AI tools. But I can see how my teams are actually using the tools to make their work, like elevating it to another level.
Do you guys test AI with video at all?
What do you mean, like content videos?
Yeah, like creating
Like
content, like video content using
not
AI.
yet. We're using it more from a design perspective, and copy isn't there yet. Like you can't get an AI model to speak in like local slang with your DNA of the brand inside of it. Like we haven't learned to either we haven't learned to prompt the tools yet properly, or their tools are not sufficiently robust to know how to talk like we would talk to a customer on TikTok.
It's hard.
You know, it's
Yeah,
not there at all. But from a design perspective, it makes my team's work a lot easier. The stuff we can automate with AI, we automate, and then we put their creative juices where it really matters.
yeah, awesome. Well, unfortunately, we are up on time, Maria. I feel like I can talk to you for hours. We might have to schedule another call without hot
Sure,
sauce
I'd
and
be
without
happy to.
without a camera. Yeah.
I'll bring you the French mustard. I'll ship you some French mustard.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. But maybe before we jump out, where can the audience follow you and your work? And any kind of lasting things you'd like to say to the audience that made it all the way to the end?
Yeah, they made it all the way through our little chat. So they can find me on LinkedIn, Maria Garrido, Garrido. I post a lot of things on LinkedIn, Deezer and otherwise. So you're welcome to find me there. And then just lasting thoughts for the marketers out there, just keep pushing through and trust your gut. Make it a good mix of art and science, and you'll be successful at whatever you do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Maria. And we will definitely have to get you back for round 2 at some point.
I'm happy to come back. Thank you for the excellent hot adventure today.
All right.